Hello! Welcome back to Story Reckless. I am Nathan. I will be your DM this evening. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm going to pass it over to our players for their intros.
My name is Claire. My pronouns are they, them, and I am still playing Quidam, half-elf grave cleric.
My name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns, and I am playing Lovelace, centaur, activist, and malcontent. Instigator, one might say.
I'm always curious to see what Lovelace's newest title is each week. It's good. Well, on that note, slightly related, probably why Lovelace is picking such titles, we find both of our characters here back in the halls of Candlekeep, where they were actually banned from months ago at this point.
Just Lovelace.
Just Lovelace. That's true. However, upon their travel back home to Baldur's Gate, they encountered a horde of gnolls that chased them down, and they fled to Candlekeep for safety. At the walls of Candlekeep, they warned a collection of people that were camped outside to flee. And as the folks within Candlekeep worked to open the gate, Lovelace and Quidam fought off the pursuing gnolls. Unfortunately, 3 lives were taken by the gnolls as they descended on the walls. And as Quidam and Lovelace pushed inside, the remaining security forces of Candlekeep came flying over the walls and chased the gnolls off. At this point, with this scared crowd of civilians, you are all ushered into the one place of rest within Candlekeep for the outside folk, known as the Hearth, where you had stayed before. Upon entering, you saw that it was actually quite packed. It seems that not only was there this new influx of people that just rushed in, fleeing from the creatures outside, but on top of that, there appeared to be many others within the tavern tending to their business. As they were all warned of the creatures that were outside, there was a slight bit of panic, but Samantha, the tavern keep, was able to subdue the tension and reassure everyone, and guided the 2 of you, with the help of Little One, the ogre resident of the Hearth, to your bedrooms for the night, which would be in the cellar of the Hearth, known as the Firefly Cellar. There's actually a portion of the library. As you were led down below, you found yourself in this cylindrical, large chamber filled with stacks of books and little glass jars hanging from the ceiling and tucked into corners, all filled with fireflies, giving this kind of strange, warm glow to the interior of this space. And upon entering, you met the head scribe here of the Firefly Cellar, an elf named Varnier. 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 Varnyr. Varnier. This Quidam could tell with their elven heritage. This is a pretty old elf, pretty up in their years, silver hair at this point, very refined features, and she had these purple robes on and greeted you, seemed to be working late within the Firefly Cellar, and informed you that there was a restoration project occurring. And just before we ended, she asked if you wouldn't mind bringing down a stack of books below to one of the residents below named Ebder.
Ebder.
And
good name.
With that, as the 2 of you, or the 4 of you with your 2 companions, Renwyn and Manfred, you descended, or you have the books. What are you going to do, actually? I should ask. I shouldn't assume. I don't know. Maybe you're going to do something else. But you have these books, and Vernier has asked you to bring them down below. And as a reminder, real quick, just to set the scene, I forgot to describe the setting. You are in this circular chamber with these kind of circular bookshelves that radiate outwards. And there are little nooks throughout the room with statues and stuffed chairs. And in the center of the room, there's this large stone statue suspended from the ceiling of an open book. Almost looks as though it is keeping itself aloft by flapping its covers. And that is suspended above this open center portion that looks down further into the lower level of this cellar. So, with you, all of you standing there in the scene set, what would you like to do?
Go downstairs.
Okay.
I want to go to bed, so find Abder and pass these off as quickly as possible.
Okay. The four of you, unfortunately, the only way down is a spiral staircase. So, Lovelace, you'll have to kind of...
I think I'm not carrying any books then. I'm just like hands on each side of the wall, just like letting myself down. Be like, oh, this place.
Yeah. And as you kind of awkwardly work your way down the stone steps, you come around and it opens up into a similar sized chamber. Let's see here. This portion of the chamber, as you come down, whereas above there were all the flowers set up and there was kind of a pleasant smell in the air, the smell gets a bit mustier as you descend down, and this portion looks to be a little more in disrepair, like the restoration project hasn't quite touched here yet. You can see there are more of those concentric rings of bookcases that dominate the space. And in the center, just below that massive stone statue looking up, there is this it's a circular granite table, but there's little semicircles kind of cut out into it, like 6 of them, to create almost like little study nooks. And on this giant granite table, you can see there is an individual, an older looking human man. He has a bit of black hair left, but most of it is like just silvered, as he's sitting there with all these books and just kind of anxiously reading as you come down the steps.
Excuse me, are you Abder?
Shh. I just put her to sleep. Please, my daughter is asleep right now. Just, thank you. Yes, I'm Abder. What is it?
Here, I will hand over the books.
Oh, no, she never listens. Those aren't for me. I'm sorry. Those are meant for, what is her name? She just arrived. Oh, they're for Cthulhu. She's staying with us at the moment. You can find her down those stairs there, and it'll take you down a hallway. I'm assuming your guests staying here.
Yeah. Are rooms for us also down that way?
Yeah. So go down the stairs there and make your way down the hall, and you'll see down at the right. It opens up into more rooms.
Is there a lift?
He looks over at you, Lovelace.
Lovelace just has her arms crossed.
Unfortunately not. This is a very old part of the complex. So, I'm sorry. Will you be able to manage? I could send for one of the Avowed to maybe get a levitate spell cast on you, if that would help.
That actually sounds kind of fun.
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll go talk to Veneer about it. Oh, one moment.
Thank you.
Closes the books up and gets up and starts scurrying up the stairs. Yeah, what do you want to do as you wait? You're in this large kind of circular chamber with all of these different bookcases set.
What books am I holding?
Good question.
I don't necessarily need specific titles.
Yeah.
You know.
Looking at the books, I can actually give you an answer to this. They look to be a collection of folk tales, different books on folk tales. Yeah, just, all sorts. You can thumb through them if you'd want, but
I don't suppose there are any specifically about vampires.
no, it seems as you're looking at the titles and just kind of opening up some of the books that they revolve around, stories of magic, and they do seem to be stories, but the types of magic that's being described isn't really ringing a bell for anything that you've experienced in your life, and any arcane magic you've experienced doesn't seem to touch on that, and anything divine you've heard of as well, it's not quite in that realm. So it's
Alright.
Yeah. Anything else as you wait, or do you want to just patiently wait for Ebder to return?
I'm fine waiting.
Okay, Lovelace.
I think she's just pawing at the ground.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna.
I'm
excited for this levitate spell.
Yeah, I think Lovelace is in grumpy mode, but is excited, just feeling is this actually gonna work? This one's kind of cool.
After about 5 minutes, you hear the footsteps coming down, and Ebder, kind of rubbing the brow of his nose, approaches. I'm terribly sorry. It's a bit late right now. Veneer doesn't feel. It's. I don't think it's gonna happen tonight. I can help you down the stairs if you want.
I'll manage.
Okay. Well, please keep it down if you can, as I said. And I'm sorry.
Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, as I walk towards the stairs.
And he just watches you as you clop down the stairs, and you all start working your way down the stairs. It's a relatively short flight, just one more level down, and you find yourselves standing in this long, very dark stone hallway. You can see there are little nooks throughout the hallway that as you get down to the base, just to your left, there's a nook with a glass jar in it, but you just see down at the bottom there's just all these little black lumps in the dark. But at the center of the hallway, there's still some light coming off, just a bit of glow periodically, kind of pulsing almost. And walking down the hall, you can see that there are multiple jars in these nooks.
I'll just cast light.
The hallway lights up, and you can see that the jars are filled with what look to just be little dead fireflies. But as you approach that center point, you can see that there are live ones in that one centered jar. As you get to the end of the hall, you can see a door that kind of curves off to the right. And as you open it up and continue in, you find yourself... Your nostrils are filled with kind of the smell of home-cooked food. And you can just hear pots and pans kind of clinging, and this scrubbing sound of and right off to your left, you can see there is a kitchen set up. And there is a figure right now hunched over this big wash basin, just scrubbing, and they have this very faded, almost gray purple robe on, the hood up. They're back to you scrubbing, and you can see there is a oven off to one side and shelves with all sorts of pots and pans, and the kitchen's actually quite clean, except for there's on the stove right now there is one big skillet that's just covered in bits of grease and little bits, and then there's the one that's being washed at the moment. But in front of you, you see another door that continues. Do you want to keep going?
No, interact with the people. Excuse me. I'm an extrovert.
The figure turns and you see a beak and black feathers with kind of like, this iridescent coloration to it, and these claw-like hands with these really like very like weathered gray black feathers, and you can see the feathers on the face as well. They're a bit dull despite their coloration. And it's a small bird-like creature with these like little black eyes looking at you, and the head kind of cocks and looks at you and goes, "Bark."
Oh, hello. I'm looking for Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. If you just head on down the hall there, I'm sure that you'll find what you're looking for. Anything else for you this evening?
Rooms for, well, I guess we ain't quite seekers, but for visiting folks down that way too.
Yes. If you just head down the hall there, you'll see to the left and the right any room that is vacant you may take for the evening.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have
Anything
we
else?
seen Kenku before?
Yeah, you've seen them sprinkled throughout Baldur's Gate. They're definitely not like a rare occurrence. And yes, this is a Kenku, a very older Kenku. And as they look at you, they go, all right, are you done, or can I get back to what I'm doing here?
Please, go ahead. Thank you for your help.
And they turn and continue scrubbing. As you open the door, you can see now the stone is given way to wood that is like hardwood that is stretching out down the hall. And to the left and right, you can see there are 6 doors, and at the very back there is a single door. As you are getting ready to leave, you do hear the voice call out,
"Oh, I would go down to the one there. Crinkle gets real grumpy when you head in there. It's her room."
and you hear what sounds to be Little One's voice
I was gonna
coming
say,
out.
I kind of almost do a double take looking for Little One.
You hear Little One's voice coming out of this Kenku's voice. And the Kenku just kind of eyes you as you leave the room.
I think Lovelace pauses and says, "Who's Crinkle exactly?"
"Oh, Crinkle is the small Kenku that lives in Firefly Cellar."
And then they point at themselves.
Got it. Nice to meet you, Crinkle.
Yeah,
Thanks for
it's
your help again.
kind of nice, I guess. Gotta get back to work, And yeah, so you have the 6 doors and the one at the far end of the hall. You do see there is one door that's slightly ajar, and coming out of it, you can hear you hear this singing. It sounds like just a small child singing absentmindedly to themselves. Yeah. So there's that. Sorry, I was trying to remember what other details. Yeah, so the one door is slightly ajar. You hear the small child slightly singing. All the others are closed. What do you want to do?
Do these doors have room numbers on them? Do
No.
we have a room
No,
number?
they're just doors. Yeah, no names.
So I got real excited about the Kenku and then didn't quite pay quite enough attention to what they were saying. Their room's at the end of the hall. I got that much. What else?
They said, take any room that is empty. You can stay in.
Got it.
Alright.
Got it.
And
But I don't think they said where Cthulhu was. So if you wanna ask for clarification.
Let's go drop off our stuff first.
all right.
Okay.
So
Which
I guess just knock on the first room.
okay, you knock on the first one to your left, and let me find out. There's no answer. Opening the door, you can see there are two beds that are positioned on opposite walls, flanked by a little wash basin. And the room itself is pretty much bare. You can see the beds are made. One of them is not made as well, but, you know, decent enough. Yeah, seems to be an empty room.
Manfred, shall you and I?
Oh, sure, that would be good. I suppose Renwin and Lovelace will stay together then. All right. And he kind of shuffles past you, this tall, lanky human, and goes in. I'm going to get things ready. I'm quite exhausted from this evening. And starts setting up his stuff.
I will slough off my pack and then rejoin
Okay.
the others.
Yeah, I think Lovelace goes through the same process for the next room on the left.
Next room on the left is the one with the door slightly ajar. So as you go up to it, you can hear that child singing from the inside. And then there's another door further down to the left that is closed.
I'll actually try the first one on the right then to be across.
Okay.
From Quidam.
So you knock on that door. There's no answer. And when you
Crack that baby open.
crack it open, you can see this bedroom could be another wing of the library because it is just pretty much lined with bookshelves. And there are actually two floating above in the center of the room. There's these two candles that are just gently hovering. And this is the only place so far you've seen that's been lit by something other than fireflies. And these two candles that are hovering there are just flickering with light. And there's a lot of there's a nice big cushion off to one side, and a little armoire, and a little like reading chair. So this is like a very nicely adorned room, but you don't see any beds.
Yeah, this doesn't feel beddy to me, but a cushion is a better bed for a centaur than a bed is. So, okay, we can open the next door. Next door on the right.
Okay. Knock. There's a moment, and then you hear from the inside, "Ah, yes? Who is it?"
Oh, we're just looking for empty room.
Oh, sorry, this one is taken for the moment.
All right.
The next one on the right, I'm assuming. You knock. Nothing happens, and when you crack it open, you can see within there are there is no beds in this room. It looks like.
Oh my god. Can't get bed.
Oh,
in
I'm
this
sorry.
place.
There are what look to be 3 beds in this room, but on top of that, there is a narrow shelf that's tucked into a corner, and it's just filled with jars of fruit preserves and pickled vegetables. And then these 3 beds, kind of haphazardly, like, I mean, they're neatly tucked in, but the room itself is kind of shaped weird. So there's 2 beds that are like jammed right next to each other, and then one right when you enter directly to your left, like pushed up against the wall. And the room seems to be empty.
I'm gonna just check the last room, just for thoroughness sake.
Okay.
So the third one on the left.
Okay, yeah. You knock, nothing happens, and you open it, and inside this room, you can see it is very sparse. There's one tidy bed, and there is a clay bowl which contains, it looks like the remnants of some sort of meal, just like crusted on the inside of the bowl. And there's a large trunk. But the room itself seems to be pretty sparse. You do see there is a writing desk off in the corner, with like papers strewn about it.
All right, this seems semi-occupied, so I'll go with the one with the fruit preserves.
Okay. All right. You drop your stuff off, and you have a room.
Oh boy, you and me, Renwin.
Yeah, I guess so. He kind of eyes the shelf. Think there's anything good in there?
World's your oyster. We're just here for a night.
This little gnome scuttles over and starts like going through the shelf. Looking at this one has like lemon preserves in it. That might be good.
Ooh, yeah.
Pulls it open. Oh, smells really sweet. Sets it down. Starts like eating these like almost like candied lemon in some sort of preserve.
Wait.
just
I
licking
got a
his
couple
fingers.
biscuits.
Oh, that sounds incredible. Okay.
Yeah, I'll crack out a couple biscuits and we can have a little midday snack.
Amazing.
Or no, it's
Late
getting to be
evening.
nighttime.
It's like probably 9 or 10. It's really
Yeah,
late.
okay.
Yeah.
For
All
a
right.
bed snack.
All right. Get you and Renwin enjoy this wonderful little biscuits with candied lemon slices, kind of slathered in honey. It's actually really good. So
I'm gonna knock on the door that we know is occupied.
okay, yeah. Yes. Who is it?
My name's Quidam. I'm looking for Cthulhu.
Yeah. That is me. One moment.
Oh,
And you hear some scuffling, kind of like frantic, like almost like it sounds almost like little claws on wood, you know, like a dog or something that's just scurried across. And then there's a moment, and then the door opens up, and you see this tabaxi standing there before you with these kind of think about this. They have kind of a tan fur coat with these small little ears, big golden eyes, kind of, you know, that like black little nose on them, a little bit of white around the snout, and they are wearing like very rough hewn clothing with like lots of natural fibers in it. It's like doesn't look to be like silks or anything of that sort. And then they have some animal pelts as well, like kind of making up some of their clothing. But they are standing there. Yes, I am Cthulhu. What can I do for you? I didn't know we were going to be having guests this evening.
well, I have been tasked to deliver.
Yes,
to
thank you. Takes this stack of books and scurries over and sets it down. Oh, thank you so much. I've been waiting for those. I've just been in here doing some reading, and I asked Ebder if he could fetch the ones that he would know would work best for me. What's your name?
Get on.
Quidam. Oh, lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I heard there was others. It sounded like a horse or something. It's a bit odd.
Yes, I and my 3 friends are spending the night here.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to hear your stories and where you've been, why you're here. I mean, when you have time, of course. I know it's quite late.
Well, certainly. You don't happen to have any dinner, do you? I realize I probably should have asked Crinkle, but
Oh, I might have something. Oh, you know what? It's not quite a dinner, but I was actually taught by someone this rather recently, actually. Give me a moment. And she scurries off into the room, and you see her pull out of this bag, this like satchel, and pulls it and starts rummaging through it. Pulls out this like root and comes over to you. It's not really quite a meal, but I promise you, if you have one of these, you'll be fine for the rest of the evening and probably a bit into tomorrow as well. She focuses on the root. Well, it's not working. It's supposed to darn it.
what is it supposed to do?
It was supposed to produce a fruit that this Firbolg taught me it, and It's not working for me right now. I don't know why. I must not be doing it right. I'm sorry. I probably have something, though. Tucks it away.
Oh. Well, I was going to reach out. I might be able to help.
Oh?
And I just kind of brush her knuckles and cast guidance.
Had that only a couple times before. Thank you. All right, let me give it one more time. Sure, I'll let her do a roll. Sure. My goodness. She rolled really well. Also, I just realized my rolls are probably hidden. Sorry. She got a 21. I just let her do a nature check on that. And plus the D4, right? So...
Mm-hmm.
That is a 24. This is like amazing. Yeah, she focuses in on this root, and you watch as a little like green sprig kind of comes out of it, and then this perfect little red berry just plump and kind of dangles there. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Oh, please let me know how it is.
I will take it and eat it.
You eat it, and it's... What is something that Quidam loves the flavor of? Like one of Quidam's most like pleasant flavors that they would crave or seek or want.
I have had chocolate twice in my life, and both times it was a transcendent experience.
This tastes like those pieces of chocolate you've had, but even better. Just it is so good when you bite into it. And all of the hunger and weariness of the day just washes away with that sensation as you eat it.
Oh, God.
Is it good?
I've never had anything like this.
It's just incredible, isn't it? I wish I could do it more readily, but as I said, this Firbolg taught me it, and we didn't have much time together. I'm so glad.
This is remarkable.
It quite is, yes. What did you taste?
Well, it was chocolate, but somehow more substantial. Like, I weren't hungry afterward.
Oh yes. I when I put it into my mouth, I could taste the most delicious Maztican meal I've ever had in my life. I could taste all the spices and the sweetness of the mango. It was amazing.
That is near miraculous. Can I introduce you to my friends?
Oh yes, I would love to. Yes, of course.
All right. I will lead her down to where Lovelace and Renwyn are having their snack.
Quidam!
Hey!
You gotta come try this. We got these biscuits and this amazing lemon preserve.
Ooh.
And you just see they like have these little biscuits, and this preserve jar is open. It's like half empty at this point, and Renwyn's like, "This is the best thing I've ever had." It's like, I bet you've never had anything this amazing.
Maybe. This is Cthulhu, by the way.
Hello. Pleasure to meet you.
She has the most remarkable root.
Oh, it was something that was taught to me. Thank you. Yes. Hello. What are your names?
I'm Lovelace. And this here is Renwyn.
She scurries up to you, her tail flicking, and she reaches her paw out to shake your hand. Shakes your hand. It's lovely. Yes, lovely to meet you. What brings you here to Candlekeep? And to Firefly Cellar, no less. And not many people come down here.
There's a nasty bit of business out on the road around Candlekeep. Gnolls are afoot.
Oh.
A few folks got killed on the doorsteps.
Her ears flatten on her head. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's terrible. I'm glad to see that. I mean, I know we just met, but nevertheless, I'm glad to see you're all okay. You made it out okay. Were they just outside the walls? When did you see them?
Not 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh dear. God. Well, I'm sure we'll be safe in here. place is a bit of a
yes.
fortress.
I
If you haven't
believe
noticed.
they were taken care of as we got in.
Oh, good. Well, were you traveling to here for a reason, or you just fled here for the safety? It seems.
Yeah, for the safety.
I see.
We're heading back home.
Oh, where's home?
Baldur's Gate.
That is where I met that Firbolg, actually, on my way down south, when I was traveling here. Yes. They weren't from there. They were also passing through. Yes, it's a nice city. Parts of it. It's a little rough at times.
So I've been told.
I was mugged. It wasn't
I'm
pleasant.
sorry. No, I have not experienced a pleasant mugging myself.
Oh, really? Oh, I wonder what that would be like. Would it be like a, may I please have all of your things, or I might have to kill you? Mine was kind of like that, but without the please and the pleasantries.
I see.
Just the killing part. But I did hear, oh, by the way, coming out of this, I just glanced over at chat. I just wanted to say hello to people that joined. I saw that Nick Up is here tonight. Hi.
Oh,
hello. Yeah, I know them. I haven't seen them in a while in person, and hi. I'm sorry we haven't seen each other in a while. I miss hanging out and talking. Anyways, back to the story. Yes, well, if have you ever been to Candlekeep before?
yes, actually.
Okay.
A few months ago.
I got kicked out.
Yeah, Lovelace has been banned.
Oh, well, that must be quite a story. Was something you're willing to divulge?
I mean, nasty bit of business. We got into trouble with this portal thing, and they didn't like how we resolved it.
Oh, a portal. Oh, was it something that you stumbled upon? I've heard of, strange things within the walls of Candlekeep happening before. The stories I heard, at least, when I was traveling here.
We told the little one upstairs. If you want to hear the full story, I'm sure he'd
Yes.
love a captive audience.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a brilliant idea. I will definitely speak with them, perhaps tomorrow. Well, it was so nice to meet you all. It is getting rather late. I can see you all. You must be exhausted. But lovely to meet you. They usually serve breakfast down here. Crinkle will cook something up out in the main area there where that big table was. I'm sure you met Epter. It can be a bit... Anyways, but I hope to see you there in the morning.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Cthulhu.
Oh, a pleasure. And she darts out of the room and kind of hear the as she scurries off and goes into her room. So, what do the two of you want to do for the rest of the evening? You can just go straight to bed or whatever you want to do.
It's been a long day.
Yeah,
You've been
it has.
running from Knowles.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will go back to Manfred in bed.
Okay.
I suppose, before I go, Lovelace, you all right with sleeping arrangements? I didn't want to put the two of them together. Just in case.
I mean, it's a bit of a surprise, but we'll make do. You can handle yourself.
Oh, I ain't afraid of Manfred hurting me.
Yeah, seems unlikely.
Yeah.
Why are you talking in hushed voices over there?
We're plotting.
Exactly. We are speaking of truly atrocious secrets that would burn the hair off the top of your head.
All right. Well, just stay close to me tonight, Lovelace. Keeps eating.
Have a good
biscuits.
night, you two.
All right. Quidam, as you work your way down the hall, you can see that door slightly ajar as you pass by, and you just hear the faint child within just humming. as you pass by, you enter into your room. The singing stops for a moment, and just as you go into your room, you see this little face kind of poke out from the room and just look up at you with these big eyes, and you see a bright little bit of yellow, as like a yellow hood is pulled up over their head, and then they pull back inside before you wave.
Oh, I hope this place ain't haunted, I say out loud.
Okay. You retire for the evening.
No response from the small hooded child.
Make a persuasion roll. Why not? Let's see.
All right. Persuasion. 23.
There's a moment, and you hear, ooh, ooh,
Oh no! And I will scream.
You hear giggling as you scurry. Are you scurrying down the hall, or are you going into your room?
I'm going into my room.
You hear giggling, and you kind of hear like little feet like running, and the oohing like increases as you hear a ooh, as she kind of runs down the hall as you go into your room, and you just kind of hear her run back and forth a little bit, and then giggle, and then scurry back, and you just hear the as she goes into her room. So two of you retire for the night. As you are settling in, eventually at one point, Quidam, you do, just as you're getting ready to kind of fall asleep, you just hear a very soft knock at the door.
I will answer it.
And you see that Vernier is just standing there. I'm terribly sorry. I forgot to come and check in. I got caught up. I know it's rather late. We can speak in the morning. I don't know if you've been told there'll be breakfast out.
Yes.
All
I
right.
spoke to Cthulhu earlier. Thank you.
Shall I go inform Lovelace and them?
She knows as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, have a pleasant evening.
Thank
She
you.
turns. And as you start to settle into sleep, you feel sleep come over you. Lovelace, just as you are kind of trying to get comfortable in the room, you do hear faint footsteps outside on the creaking hardwood, and then kind of a stop, kind of muffled, low voice, and you can make out the mumbles of Ebder, kind of irritated, and then like a higher pitched mumbling, and that kind of goes back and forth for a little bit. You kind of hear it, and then it kind of stops, and you hear a quite quiet, just kind of good night, and then the footsteps go past your door, and you hear the door across the hall open and close as they seem to retire for the evening. And you both drift off into sleep. You can both get a long rest if you used any spells or lost any hit points.
I'm excited to have more than, 12 hit points, but still.
Oh my, that's right. You took so much
Yeah, when I
damage.
said, Quidam, you can take care of yourself, that was having just dragged you off of a battlefield while you're unconscious because you got skewered.
I
You know-
can talk my way out of anything. Manfred and I can communicate.
When a whole week goes by between games, which is really not that long considering most D&D games, sometimes I forget things. I forgot that Quidam nearly died.
Yes, I was probably limping and slightly bleeding that whole time. But
Okay. Both of you sleep through the night without any dreams. And the morning comes to you as you both slowly open your eyes and wake up. You can start to smell, Quidam, probably you're the one that smells it, drifting through your door, the strong scent of bacon wafting through the door. And as you both wake, a couple things. You do hear and you notice as you were drifting to sleep just that periodic sound of little tick 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 tick. As you can see, the little fireflies in the jars periodically will like bounce against the jars themselves. But you awake and it's a bit disorienting. There's no sunlight down here, obviously. It's just the same ambient glow of light that you were greeted with when you drifted off into sleep. You have no sense of time, of what time it is, other than just waking up.
This is deeply disorienting to Lovelace.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you were probably very deep underground, considering you went like 3 stories down. And yeah, there's just no light, and you're just, except for the fireflies. That's it. All right. What do you both want to do with the day?
Can I just get a beat on Manfred? How's he doing emotionally? I don't necessarily want to engage with him about it, but
Roll an insight check.
inside 18.
You see as he's kind of getting up and going through his morning routine, he does, you notice when he was sleeping, he did like really pull himself and cocoon himself in. Even though he's in the room with you, he seems very uncomfortable. And there are moments where you see him kind of lost in thought. So he does seem to be distracted.
All right.
Yeah.
Go for breakfast.
Okay. Lovelace, did you want to do anything, or go to breakfast as well?
Yeah, I think Lovelace's angle on the day is to try to figure out how we're gonna get out of here, because there's still a Knoll warband out there between us and Candlekeep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good to know. So as you all gather out in the main area, you can see there are already like plates, big plates with bits of like egg, like scrambled eggs cooked on them, a little bit of steam coming off. There are like big hearty pieces of bread set up, and just as you are getting settled in at this table, you can see Ebder is there, kind of rubbing his eyes, just absentmindedly looking over books that are sitting there beside him, and steam coming up off of a cup of coffee. He just kind of nods as you approach, and as you sit down, you hear little scurrying behind you, and Crinkle comes out with this sizzling bacon, and scoops it onto like a big pewter platter thing, and just kind of scrapes it onto there. I hope you like bacon, and then goes scurrying back towards the kitchen. As you are eating your breakfast, you first notice Manfred. As he's eating, he's just sitting there, scarfing down, like carefully, like eating bacon and taking some eggs and kind of wiping his mouth. And absentmindedly, as he's eating, he's just going. And Ebder kind of, will you please stop that? I'm sorry, what? You're humming, please. Oh, sorry, I did not realize that it was humming. Yes, of course.
What tune was that? I don't think I recognize it. It went a little something like da 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 da. Yeah. And I think Lovelace starts humming it too.
Yeah, you do. It's like really sticking there. You almost can't stop yourself from humming it.
It's like an earworm. It's one of those.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Mind flayer things.
I don't. Yeah. Oh,
Is
I
the
certainly
little girl
hope not.
in the room from last night?
No. Quidam, you find yourself starting to hum it. I'm sorry. It's Can everybody?
Sorry.
It's all. It's all right. I just. I'm trying to. I have a lot of work. I unfortunately need to be. It's just a little distracting, if you don't mind.
There was a young girl last night.
Oh, that's my
in
daughter,
the-
yeah.
Yeah, she was humming that.
Yeah, she's been. I noticed she started a day ago or so. She's just been humming it all the time when she's on her own. I can't stop her. I don't know. Sorry, it's really. I know it's. And as you continue breakfast, you start to feel yourself humming it again, and you notice that Ebder is sitting there.
This is odd.
There is a loud slam from upstairs, and you hear all these series of like mechanical, and then like a as the lift is going up, and then you hear footsteps running down the stairs, and you can hear very faintly as it gets closer.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
You cast Detect Magic, and you hear the footsteps running down the stairs. There is kind of a faint aura of magic just overall in Candlekeep anytime you've cast it before. There's not really anything pinging though, like directly, but as Vernier comes running down the stairs, she stops and collects herself. I am terribly sorry, but we all need to stay here for a while. I've noticed everyone has been singing the same tune. I didn't think much of it when I heard Galeby singing it the other day, but then I noticed myself last night as I was trying to go into my trance. I could not stop singing it, and I now see everyone here is singing the song. Why did you have to lock everything down, Vernier? You see...
Songs just do that sometimes.
I understand, but you see, when I first arrived here in Candlekeep, that was over 600 years ago, there was a curse that went around. They were calling it a singing madness. It afflicted a traveling vendor who came through, and they had to lock him into a room. I don't know the specifics of what happened with the story, but it was driving him mad. And you all feel yourselves wanting to sing and hum that tune as she is speaking, and you keep seeing her having to stop.
I think Lovelace is just kind of tapping it out with her back leg.
So it's just...
Tick, 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 tick.
You just see Ebder just keeps looking at you like, and then he starts nodding to the beat. Da, 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 da.
All right.
So I've informed the Avowed upstairs. They immediately told me we need to quarantine ourselves, and we are locked within here until one of them can solve this and figure out how to end the curse that we are all experiencing. I'm terribly sorry. I know you just arrived and you had a traumatic evening the night before, but looks like we're all stuck here together for a while.
Real life flashbacks.
I know. It's like, yeah.
Isn't it possible that this module was written during COVID, like early COVID?
I believe it was, actually, because this module came out
Like
2020.
2021.
No, wait, was it 2021?
Last year.
You're right, it was last year. So yeah, there's a good chance that they were writing this. Yeah. So.
Okay.
So who's gonna start wiping down the groceries?
In the meantime, please feel free to just make yourselves comfortable. I'm
my
going.
first thought is mass dispel magic.
I'm sure they will think of that. I don't think that that'll work, though. I feel like that would have been something that would have come up all those years ago. And like I said, I don't remember how it was resolved. It happened while I was arriving and getting settled in. I heard about this thing. I didn't really look into it. I'm terribly sorry. Yes. Okay.
Original point of infection. You mentioned someone who was doing it a couple days ago. Ebder, you said that your daughter was singing it yesterday.
Yes, she was. I didn't think it was anything,
Well, sure.
Oh, God. I should go check on her. Excuse me, everyone. Takes his book and scurries down the hall.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. Lovelace, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna keep eating my bacon.
Okay.
Hey, Crinkle, come over here. I got something for you.
Yeah, Crinkle's like just coming back into the room, and as she's running up to the table with what look to be biscuits, like baked biscuits, still warm and like steaming, and has like a little thing of butter at her side. She's running into the room going,
Oh, somebody's been whistling.
but she comes up and sets it down, looks at you.
Yeah.
I am Crinkle.
I am Crinkle.
Boom, there you go. You're
Thank
welcome.
you for that.
Sometimes I'm just that grumpy old bird in the corner over there.
It's nice to get more things under my plate, as one would say.
Thanks for the bacon.
Thanks for the bacon. And she scurries away. Also, I'm sorry if when I whistled, I realized it might have been a bit piercing, so
No.
it was okay.
It's not. It's
Good.
coming out.
Good. Okay, so Quidam, you follow Ebder. Following Ebder down the...
Make myself known to him.
Okay.
I'm not sneaking after him.
Okay, yeah. He does kind of stop for a second and look over his shoulder as you're down that, like, kind of dark hallway, which is a little spooky. Stops and
Oh, again,
looks...
cast light.
Oh. I really need to talk with Crinkle about... Yeah, Crinkle is the one who takes care of the fireflies. I don't know why she hasn't... Whatever. Grumpy bird. Let's, Can I help you with something?
Oh, well, I was hoping I might meet your daughter. I sort of met her last night. She and I had a pleasant encounter.
Yeah, she was not supposed to be awake. It was way past her bedtime. Thank you. Sure. Why not? You go down the hall and into her room, and as you open the door, you can hear her. And you can see that she's just sitting on her bed with her feet kind of up in the air on her stomach, and she has this big piece of parchment out with what look to be like what do you call them? Pastels, like oil, like big oil sticks, you know. I'm assuming they're oil based. Actually, no. For a kid, they're like the more chalky, like charcoal based. So they're like colored charcoal sticks, and she's just like happily drawing on this big piece of parchment on her belly, like swinging her feet. Her room itself. I'll do a brief little description here. You can see there are toys scattered about the room. It is quite messy. And she's on her unmade bed, scribbling away. There's little piles of clothing just kind of in different parts of the room. And above, there's a little writing desk, which she's not using, that is covered in like various papers. and above it there's this little like dragon marionette made of brass and wood. It's just kind of gently, rocking there above the desk. And then there are round firefly lamps that hang in the corners of the room. She looks over and you can see she has this yellow cape on with a little hood that's pushed back, and her big eyes. She has black hair, looks to be like her father's, just, not silver. And yeah, she just looks over to you, kind of like looks a little shy at first and then kind of slyly smiles at you.
I'll wink back.
I scared them last night, Dad.
That
Yeah.
was you? I thought for sure it was a ghost.
Yeah, I mean, I could be a ghost. I can be lots of things. I've been to. You see that dragon there? There's this game I like to play, where I'm a dragon, and my little toys there, they're the knights, and they come to try to run up and rescue. This one's the princess here, you see, and then they try to rescue her, and then I burn them all. It's really, Dad doesn't like it when I tell that story.
No? It sounds like you want to protect the princess.
Well, it's just when she's talking about violent things like that, it just doesn't, people get uncomfortable when little kids talk about violence like that. It makes them assume the worst.
No, really. I found that children enjoy violence in various forms and in play.
Do you want to hear this song that I made up the other day? It goes, it's like this. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where. I made it up, and I can't stop singing it. It's just the greatest song. I just wanted to share it with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to see my drawings?
Yeah. Tell me about this, and I will like go over and set myself down.
Okay. And Ebder's just kind of awkwardly like sitting in the corner. And as you sit down, you can see on her bed, she points down at this drawing, and you can see there's a drawing that looks to be very like simplistic drawing, like very two-dimensional and flat, of what looks to be like a man like on his side, and his feet are missing, and there's just big red marks coming out the bottoms of the feet, and then you can see two little feet like drawn off to the side that have red marks spraying out the tops of them. I don't know where I thought of this, but I thought it was kind of funny because he's missing his feet.
Yeah, I imagine it'd be hard for him to walk.
Yeah, it's a little scary because I wanted to put the blood in because that's what would happen if you lost your feet. But I just thought thought it was kind of funny because he doesn't have his feet. And then this one over here, and she goes and grabs one off the desk and pulls it down, and you can see there's what looks to be like a small boy who's like very cartoonishly grabbing their throat, and you see these big bubbles coming out, and then little like water drawn at the top, and they're like little X's on the eyes. This one, he fell in the water, and actually this one's not actually that funny. It kind of scares me, but it's it could be, I don't know why, but this one here, and she grabs another one, pulls it out, and you can see there's a dog that has a severed hand in its mouth and more of those big red marks spraying out of it. But this one, the dog found a hand. And it now has a hand. What is the dog going to do with the hand? I don't know.
I don't know either.
but I thought maybe that he tore it off of someone and because he wanted it. I think it was a woman, you know. It was like his owner, I think. But you know, what does a dog want a hand for? They
Yeah,
just
you
have
don't see
paws.
that very often.
No. And you can see on this one, there's just this big, just black scribble at the top of the page, just all like scribbled at the very top. I think that's when I was drawing it, it's like a storm cloud because, you know, the dog's being bad. I was going to add it to the other ones too because, you know, like all these, they're kind of like scary stories. Maybe that's why last night, I thought, I was thinking about, when you said that, I was thinking about a ghost. But yeah, these are my drawings. I have more if you want to see them. She goes over and starts pulling off more drawings. And these ones look like kind of more what you'd expect, like typical little kid drawings. Just like a variety of like, you know, cartoonish dragons and like trees with little like guys with swords. There is a twinge of violence to all of them though. Like you do see the one with the guys with swords. They are like poking each other, and then the one with the dragon, there's just little burnt like sticks of legs and stuff off to the side and all that. But they are all more or less like the types of drawings you would expect.
All right. I feel like Don would have a better idea of how to deal with this than Claire. Being a midwife and surrounded by children for decades.
Right.
Now, you said that you and I grabbed the one of the small boy drowning.
Yeah.
You said that this was a bit scary. Did you draw it because it was scary in your head, or did you draw it and you were scared of it afterward?
She looks over at her dad. It's okay, Gilby. You can talk to them.
Elby?
Gilby?
Galby.
Yeah. Am I in trouble?
With me? No, not at all. I'm just curious about your art.
Okay. I don't know. I wanted to draw it. Yeah, I saw it in my head, and I wanted to draw it.
Sometimes, if we draw stuff or talk about stuff that scares us, we can put it out into the world and make it a little smaller, a little less real. Sometimes when I'm scared, I talk to my friends about what I'm scared about, and they can help me be less scared.
I just talk with Crinkle sometimes, but
Yeah.
she usually just says back what I say.
So you know she's listening, but she can't necessarily help you talk about what you're afraid of.
Well, sometimes I ask her to make funny voices because she has a lot of voices that she can do, and I've asked her if she could teach me how to do it. I think she's tried sometimes, but I like it when she talks like little one. It's funny because she's really small and he's so big, and she just sounds just like him.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
I imagine so.
Yeah. Can I go back to drawing?
Sure.
Okay. She rolls over onto her stomach again and starts scribbling onto the paper.
I will get up and just make my way out of the room, making eye contact with Ebder.
He'll kind of turn and walk out with you. Shut the door quietly. don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think she's dealing with something. I couldn't tell you what.
Yeah, I mean, she's always kind of been, drawn to the darker things. But I didn't see these drawings before. Those are kind of, a little more explicit, I guess. Not as fantastical.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of makes me, a little nervous. I think, maybe there's something about this in, Veneer's personal collection. She has some really nice books. If we just, I'm gonna go take a look, if you don't mind.
All right.
And he'll go down the hall.
As he goes,
Yeah.
can I make an insight check? Like, is there anything that he is trying to hide? Does he know more than he's letting on?
Yeah, go ahead, make an insight check.
Yeah. It's a natural 1.
All you can do as you watch him walk down the hall is just hum that tune, and you become very distracted. You can't really get anything as his back is turned to you. But you see him disappear into it's like the first door on the right when you first came in, and he goes into that room, the one that Lovelace was in with all the bookshelves.
Yeah, all right. I will go back to the rest.
Okay. Lovelace, you are eating your breakfast and finishing it up. Do you want to do anything?
I think when Quidam comes in, Lovelace is just like basically singing it, like along with everybody else in the room.
Ooh.
I'm not putting a bunch of effort. I mean, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. We just gotta let it wash over us.
Yeah,
Renwyn
is just like singing along with you, and and has his flask out, and it does offer it to you if you want any, but he like passes it to others who want to partake, and he's just like full-heartedly singing it with you. Yeah, I think you got the right idea.
No. It's more like
oh.
You gotta get like
right.
halves in.
Yeah. Well, I was trying like
Oh, hi, Quidam.
Hi.
You solved this whole thing? Wrap it all up?
No, not yet. Just went to say hi to Galeby.
Yeah. Sounds haunted. Sounds cursed. I bet it's the book's fault.
Well, I don't like doing nothing. So I'm going to sit back down and pull out a rather large leather pouch. And my handy dandy player's handbook.
Uh-huh.
And I pull out wooden sticks, probably about chopstick length, but a bit thicker, of this dark teak almost.
Okay.
Studded with small amethysts. And I want to cast augury.
Oh boy, okay. Here we go.
Let's see here.
Yeah, will you remind me and everyone how this works?
Yeah, including myself.
Yeah.
I receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within 30 minutes.
Okay.
You, the DM, choose from the following possible outcomes.
Right.
Wheel for good, woe for bad, wheel and woe for both good and bad, nothing for results that aren't especially good or bad.
Okay. Okay.
spell does not take into account any possible circumstance that might change the outcome, such as casting of additional spells or loss or gain of a companion.
Okay. Okay.
I am going to ask probably Sehanine in particular. If we fervently apply ourselves to breaking this curse, is there a possibility that we will succeed?
Okay. And what does it look like? Are you taking these sticks and doing the like throwing them on the table to read the bones kind of thing, or?
Yeah, I've never done this before.
Okay.
And I have never really held much with like fortune telling.
Okay.
But I know that I have to have these sticks.
Okay.
So what I am doing is imitating, street fortune tellers.
Yeah.
So I am like holding them up and saying the thing aloud and then throwing them down, probably a little slightly more dramatically than absolutely necessary. And feeling a little embarrassed about that, but maybe this is part of it.
As you stand there with your hands outstretched and the sticks, they clatter on the table, and there's this resounding kind of echo in this big stone chamber that goes to silence. And you start to hear the humming coming from upstairs from in here. You start to hum it. Lovelace, you feel yourself humming it. And as you're standing there looking at this pile of sticks.
Yeah, I try and like get rid of that.
Yeah.
Get rid of the feeling that I am performing.
Yeah.
And just sink into, do I see patterns?
So you watch the sticks sitting there, and Renwyn kind of comes right up to your hip, a little lower than your hip, and kind of like looks over the table at this. Well, what's supposed to happen? And the sticks start kind of vibrating on the table, and you watch they go, and they start rolling and moving like in these patterns, and they form this very intricate pattern on the table of like sticks all crisscrossing and forming this kind of like semicircular pattern. And somehow your brain just immediately clicks for wheel. That's what this means. Whoa, is that a bit of mage hand or something? I've seen that, stuff like that. Have you ever seen that before, Lovelace?
Yeah, just out on the streets. I think you got to work on your like patter a little bit. I wasn't quite like convinced, but we can do it again. You can practice.
Maybe another time.
And we got all the time that we need right now, don't we?
I sure hope so. But I think whatever we need to actually break the curse, not just manage until help arrives, is within our reach here. I fear it's
All right.
a book.
I'm not going to argue with that. Maybe like if there's been some recent books that have been like uncovered from some kind of like cursed tomb, perhaps.
Yeah, there's this restoration been going on. Have you, I don't know, uncovered any
Oh yeah, there we go.
new or old books, objects, something like that?
Who are we
Say
asking?
to the general, Ebder or Varnier.
No one knows. Varnier. Yeah, Varnier is how I've been pronouncing it. Sorry, so wait, are you going to ask somebody?
Just Yeah, to the people who pre-exist us here.
Varnier is upstairs, at the table with you. I guess at this point, Cthulhu is coming out and looking around and kind of like gets caught up on what's happening, and you can hear her humming.
I'll ask, like, call Crinkle in here as well.
Okay.
You go ask Veneer upstairs. I'll talk to Cthulhu and Crinkle maybe.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, next time Crinkle comes skittering out, you go upstairs, Quidam, lovely. So you have Crinkle there, setting out, or at this point is like clearing the dishes and stacking them up, and quite deftly like holding almost this whole pile like on her one hand as she's gathering them all. What do you say to Crinkle?
First off, nice work. Good form.
Yeah, you know, these old hands.
Hands, wings. Hey, have you like? I know there's this restoration going on. Has there been like a cache of like books with like skulls and stuff on them or something? Like, maybe like they uncovered something for this curse. Just wondering. Anything like that come to mind? Any treasures, perhaps, in forgotten corners?
Nah, no treasures in here. Just a bunch of dirty books.
Yeah. Those the people think them treasures.
Oh yeah, they're some of the greatest things in existence.
Mm-hmm.
Big
I hope that was
loud
sarcastic.
oath.
Yeah. Anyway, they found any new ones? You know?
Just a bit of singing.
Yeah. Ain't no harm in that.
Nothing new.
All right. Well, I'll ask Ebder.
Scurries off. The plate kind of. Ebder is down in the room, so you want to head down the hall to where Ebder is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As you head down the hall, Quidam, you get upstairs. You see Vernier is there, like trying not to hum, but every once in a while that hum just keeps coming back up as she's trying to focus on putting the books, like cataloging them into the shelves upstairs.
Does it hurt to sing? Like, does it make it worse?
Honestly, I don't know, but from what I remember, the gentleman who had it eventually went mad. I don't wish that upon anyone, but I am finding it very distracting and difficult to concentrate on just about anything with this tune stuck in my head.
Sure. We believe that the answer to breaking this is here within our reach right now. Might you have any ideas to what that would be? Particularly, this renovation is a new thing-ish. Have you encountered anything odd or unusual or just simply noticeable in it?
Not particularly. I've been spending my time cataloging here and working on restoring this upper level, and I was actually getting ready to head back into the bindery to repair some books. We get old books that are, you know, badly damaged brought into here. I can't think of anything off or unusual.
All right.
I'm sorry. I think we need to rely on the experts upstairs. I'm not really one to use magic or know. I've just read about it.
I can do magic. Some.
Oh good.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe.
So, if perhaps we combine your theory and my practice, we might be able to figure something out.
Yes, well, all right. Well, perhaps we can find something.
Certainly, you're the one who knows how to navigate books.
Yes, we should.
Anything along curses, history.
We can go into my private study. Perhaps there's something there. Please follow me. Lovelace, as you are walking down the hall, that one
All by myself, down a
All by
creepy
yourself.
hall in the dark.
that one little firefly jar, and then at the end you can see the light coming out from under the doorway where the kitchen is. You just watch as it goes, and you are thrown into darkness. And that light under the door also just goes out. Put your goggles on, and the world turns into shades of black and white. You can see now the contours of the hallway extending out before you. Quidam, you as well, as you are walking down into the main area with Vernier, suddenly all the fireflies, they just dim. And the whole library is thrown into darkness.
Spare the dying, just almost instinctually
Yeah.
towards the fireflies.
No undead presence is triggering.
No, spare the dying, not.
Sorry,
undead.
that's to detect undead. Spare the dying. Oh, on the fireflies. You cast it, you reach out to them. They're not dead. They've just seemed to have turned off. Like,
All right.
yeah. And the whole room goes dark. And every once in a while there's little flickers of Lovelace. As you are working your way down the hall in the dark with your goggles on, you can hear, muffled at first, and it's Ebder's voice becoming increasingly louder and wailing through the door. What do you do?
I'm in sneak mode.
Okay.
Like not like sword unsheathed, but like within easy reach. Gonna peek in there from the darkness.
Okay.
See what's going on.
You look down the hall as you come through the kitchen, and then open the door to look down the hall where all those bedrooms are. Are you trying to stay hidden? Make a stealth check.
Yeah, I would love to stay hidden here. Stealth +5. That one, baby.
As you go to open the door, it just loudly as it creaks open. But nevertheless, you're looking down the hall, and you just hear that wailing of Ebder singing the song coming from that room directly to the right. And the door is open, but it's all in darkness. And you hear further down from Gilby's room, "Daddy, Daddy!" And you see her pop out from around the corner, like fumbling on the walls through the dark. "Dad, I can't see! Dad!" As she's coming down the hall, and she goes towards the singing, and Ebder is just wailing this song. It sounds pained as he's singing it, and you see her fumble up to the door and kind of stumble into the room. "Dad, are you okay?" And you just hear him continuing to wail and wail.
Wait, Lovelace is going.
Okay, as you
Following in.
go into the room, you can see that she's managed to get up and is holding on to her dad and shaking him. And he's just down on the ground like this with his eyes wide, just singing this song. And she's going, "Dad, what are you doing? Dad, why are all the fireflies gone?" What do you do?
Lovelace strikes a torch first off, being like, hey, I'm here, I'm the big horse lady.
She
Hi,
kind of
hi,
scurries back and like gets behind her dad and is just like holding on to him as he continues to sing and rock.
Hi. No. Okay. Quidam!
You now hear this shouting from the hall.
Yeah, I'll start running.
Everybody, like, as you run down the hall, you can see now Crinkle is coming out. Where was Crinkle? Well, as you get to the hall and you start to go in, you see Crinkle's coming out of her room and scurrying down towards you. And as you all enter into the room, the lights illuminating. As you enter, you hear Veneer like mutter something inaudible, and then she kind of scrunches her eyebrows and looks up at those two candles that are just floating there, their lights still out, looking concerned, like they're not turning on. But you
Wait,
see now.
Did my fire torch turn on? Like
It did. That turned
that-
on. Yeah. So
Okay.
there is light in the room. And as you come in, you just see that Ebder is sitting there rocking with a book splayed out on the ground, eyes wide, just singing, seeming unresponsive to everybody around.
What book is that?
Looking down at it, it looks to be a book about curses. You read the title and it's like a collection of curses, and it's just
great.
fallen down. Yeah.
I was probably just trying to read up on stuff.
Yeah. And as you approach Lovelace, like Galeby kind of like scurries off into the corner and is kind of pushed against the wall. I don't think she's really met you yet, so she's
No,
like
not really.
very timid
Probably
around
just
you.
heard clip clop.
She is very like wide-eyed, like with wonder, looking at you. Like you see her like just like looking at your whole form and like
Yeah,
taking
I'm probably
it all
picking
in.
up like these are small rooms, right?
Yeah.
So I'm probably occupying a lot of it.
What do you
Oh,
do,
boy.
Lovelace, as you approach?
Hey, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Quidam's gonna get here in a minute. Quidam's gonna take care of your dad. We're just all a little bit sick right now. It's gonna be okay.
Are you friends with Quidam?
Yeah, we're real good friends. I saved their life before. We
Really?
fought some things. Gnolls, they were real nasty.
Oh, wait, I've heard of those. Is my dad okay?
He's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay.
Why is he doing that? Why did all the fireflies turn off?
Yeah, that's a great question. Where do the fireflies come from? I've been meaning to ask.
Crinkle takes care of them. She has a room where she keeps them. She's probably pretty.
Cool.
And at this point, you hear like the claws as Crinkle comes into the room and is like, "Everyone okay?" And she goes off into a corner, and then you start to hear more footsteps as Quidam and Vernier are entering.
Oh God. And I will plop myself down in front of Ebder. Can I take his hands? Will he let me do that?
He's like stuck, essentially like paralyzed. So you were able to pick his hands up, but he seems unresponsive. I mean, he's essentially wailing this tune. I'm not going to do it because it'll be abrasive, to say the least. So all this conversation is happening over him wailing this, and Galeby is doing her best. Like, she seems a bit comforted and like kind of in wonder with you, Lovelace. But she keeps looking back at her dad, who's just wailing this song.
I will take his hands
They
and
are
cast.
chill to the touch.
Oh. Cast calm emotions on everyone because that's nice.
Okay.
Thing about the spell, but like him in particular.
Okay.
It's
Can you tell me the specifics of that?
it's I think it's a whiz save.
Charisma save.
save if they want to resist it.
Okay.
20-foot radius sphere. Suppress strong emotions in a group of people.
Okay.
This does not work on Lovelace for arcane reasons untold.
And
She's not a humanoid.
your spell save DC is like 15 or something.
15, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone, you feel this warmth come over all of you. I guess, except Lovelace. It doesn't work on Lovelace.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum.
She ain't a humanoid. The spell specifies humanoids.
Yeah. So everyone else starts to calm down. You see Galeby immediately taking deeper breaths, and Ebder, the wailing subsides until eventually he's just kind of eyes half masked, just humming the song.
Ebder?
Thanks, Quidam.
Yeah.
You call out his name softly. Probably 2 more minutes pass of him just singing that, cold to the touch. And then you start to feel the warmth coming back into his hands. And he eventually blinks. Oh, oh, that was terrible.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I will motion Gilby over.
Gilby comes over and hugs her dad tightly. And as she does, that warmth starts to leave all of you as you feel the temperature in the room just drop to a frigid cold. Gilby pulling in tighter, her dad kind of looking around the room, pulling her in tighter. You can see them starting to shiver a little, and eventually the fireflies, they come back on, but that cold temperature is just clinging to your bones. And as... Go ahead, Lovelace. Do you want to...
Let's get back to the kitchen. It's warmer there. They got those cook fires.
As you all get up and get ready to leave, all of you retire into the kitchen, walking down that dimly lit hallway and opening up into this like larger room. You can see Crinkle scurry up to the stove, and you see her like reach over and like there's this big kind of brass knob that she turns, and you see inside the stove there's this big like metal rod, and she says like some arcane words. It sounds like in Veneer's voice as she turns the knob, and you watch that rod start to glow and get incredibly hot inside the oven. And as you all gather around the oven trying to get warmth, Cthulhu as well joining you, her like ears down, tail all puffed out. We end tonight with you standing there in the dim light of the fireflies, with all of you standing around the stove, humming. And we'll end tonight there. Two spooky adventures in a row.
This is fun.
Thank you, Dendary Merc. I'm glad it's gripping. This one's really, this one is fun. Also, I didn't bring the map out because I feel like I've been actually avoiding bringing maps out early, because as soon as I do, it feels like, oh, it's gonna be combat, and everything kind of slows down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just show folks what the map looks like. Just I want to thank Heroic Maps. I've been taking all the maps from there. They do a really good job. That's what I've been using to kind of help guide me. This is the top floor. I'll just briefly show it, and that's all I'll show for now, because who knows, things might come up.
Could we see it too?
Sure.
Can we see it, please?
Yeah, I'll send you over there.
Candle, please.
There you go. Anyways, so thank you everybody for joining us this evening. Oh, I'm sorry, Wheezies Reezies. It'll be okay. Yeah, thanks for joining this adventure. I'm excited for. It was fun reading through it and seeing all the little things, so I hope everybody is ready for a spooky ride. All right, let us sign off. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good
Good
night.
night.